Hello, my name is McKenna. I'm a small business owner in the Pacific Northwest, and I own and run the small business Palm Creative. Everything in my shop is designed, and almost pretty much everything is handmade by me. A huge portion of my shop is apparel, which I started doing last year. And speaking of apparel, we have a new, very exciting thing to test today, and I think we should just get into it. So right now, everything in my shop, including apparel, is made by me. I buy my blanks, and then I buy my heat transfers, or soon to be embroidery, and I heat press everything in my shop. So everything that you've purchased or you see on the shelves over here, boop, have been pressed by yours truly with this press over here. Okay friends, we are going to test out a brand new heat press that has not even hit the market yet, which feels insane for me to say. Never did I think I'd be the one testing out a new product that no one else has yet. But I had just done a video recently with HTVRont for their manual press. I do recommend it if you love a manual press. I did really like it. However, my bread and butter to this business has been my auto press, and when they reached out to me saying, hey, we have a new auto press coming out and it has pressure control and all these new like fancy things, I was like, sign me up. And so they sent me this new one to review, and we were going to unbox it today. We are going to test it out, and we are going to compare it to the original HTVRont press because it's over here. This little guy, that is the one I use literally for every launch, every single market prep. That's the one you see in my videos. I'm a big fan. That was one I purchased for myself because I had a clamshell before from a different company, and it hurt my wrist so bad when I had a video go viral, and I couldn't keep up, and I had to literally, I was just like, this is terrible. And I invested in this, and so it's been great. I don't have any complaints really. I do see the problem that there's not a pressure control. There's only one item in my shop that I can't use this press for anymore because I need a lot more pressure for the specific design. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because the padding on this, I need to buy a new one. But I'm excited to test out this item because if you've been watching the vlogs for a while, you can probably guess who is the culprit. Yes, it's Book Lover World Tour. It is literally the most annoying thing to press for me, and I think we should test it out. I think we should test it out with our new one, and then we'll compare these two machines. I'm very excited to review it. I hope you guys are excited too. It has not been released yet. It's coming out right before Christmas, so if there's a press that you've been wanting, maybe add it to your wish list. But we'll see. We'll see. We need to do our review and make sure we're actually happy with everything. So let's go unbox this new buddy. We're actually going to go into my new workspace out in the living room because it has more space and we can kind of see what's what. Okay friends, welcome to the new space. We're out here now because I was like, I need some space to check this boy out. So obviously it's in a big box. It is the Auto Heat Press 2 digit. And it's from HTVRont. I'm a big fan, and I can't believe they wanted to send me another one to review, so now I'm like wealthy with heat presses. I ended up selling the clamshell, not the new one I just got, but the one that hurt my wrist recently. So now we're down to 3 heat presses in this house. Eventually, who knows, maybe if my shop gets big and we have a studio, we can have all the heat presses testing each other out. But for now, this one I'm hoping is going to replace my current auto press because I'm a huge fan of that press, but there are some things that I'm hoping, at least from what I saw in the press, like what they told me was different, is going to be improvements on this guy. So let's unbox it and let's get this bad boy going. Okay, I'm very short, so we're going to put this on the floor so I can get this out a little bit better. As much as I want to be aesthetic for you guys, I'm too short for that. It is super heavy though. Oh my goodness. As you probably just heard that. right off the bat, this looks so different. Let's pull, I guess I need to probably unlock some of these things. I need to probably look at the instructions first. But this is pretty, let's see, avoid, okay, well yeah, don't burn yourself is what I'm seeing. And then it has this, let's take this guy off. Ooh, look how crispy. Oh, it's so digital. And it pops up. We love that, so it's not just flat. I'll probably be keeping that up. And then it has a little cheat sheet, which I'll probably keep on here for me for a while. Okay, so we have the power button, time, mode, pressure, that's what we like to see, temperature. Over here we have custom, increase, decrease, auto, start. So let's go look at the instructions and see what some of these mean, just so we know what's what. I'm a big believer in reading the instructions because when I don't, things go badly. So let's double check what some of this means as far as the buttons. Power button obvious, temperature, time obvious, pressure, short pressure, press once. The pressure value flashes, adjust the pressure immediately with the up, down. Long press 2. Okay. Obviously the increase, decrease button, you can kind of guess what that one means. And then the mode one is the one I'm not going to probably use too much for me, but it is cool. So basically there's 4 preset modes and you get to click which one you want. Mode 1 is for preheat transfer vinyl, and then mode 2 is glitter heat transfer vinyl, 3 is printable heat transfer vinyl, 4 is sublimation paper. Maybe I would use 4 just to see, but basically it just sets certain things. I don't know. I feel like the mode I don't need. But press the custom button to customize the ironing modes. Wait a minute. I will be using modes. You can set up your own modes. So basically it's a custom preset of your things. So like for me, I have a set thing for my heat press transfers. I don't change it ever. It's always the same time and the same temperature. Same with some of my sublimation stuff, like those things stay the same. It would be nice not to, it actually like remembers. You can do 4 different modes. Actually, I will be using it. I will be using it. I'm gonna just have to set up my custom thing. It looks like it's pretty easy. After setting, press the auto button to start automatic ironing. Once the ironing board is pushed back into place, the machine will press down on the project continuously without pressing start. Hold on, you guys. This just got even better. So with the old press, you always have to press start. So you take out the tray, you put your item on there, you push it back in, you press start. This auto mode that they now have means I can put it out, put it back in, and it automatically starts. I don't have to press a button. That's pretty wild. So I can continuously keep going without having to do this full like do, which it's like in the scheme of things hasn't been like a huge thing, but that is still gonna save me time. I love that. Wonderful. These are all wonderful things. I'm like, is there anything else? Okay, well that's pretty much all I needed to know, I think. Those were my questions, is these new buttons that I didn't know. Okay, let's keep talking about this. Okay, to start, I think I'm just going to go ahead and plug it in, and we're gonna see how quickly it heats up to 315, and then we're going to test how quickly it heats up to 315 on the old press, because I'm actually really curious if there's a difference in timing. The old one, I mean, again, it doesn't really bother me, but I know some people really don't like waiting for a heat press to heat up. So let's just talk about it. Let's do it. Let's do a little test. I'm gonna plug this buddy in and then we'll see how quickly it goes to get to 315. I'm gonna do a stopwatch as soon as I turn the thing on. We're gonna see, and then we'll test it against the other one. took a while to heat up, but I'm also like, it is the first time I'm turning it on, and I do feel like when I've used heat presses in the past, the first time always takes the longest. So now I kind of feel bad that I compared this, but let's go test out the other press. Let's see how long it takes. It took 4 minutes and 40 seconds to heat up. I'm gonna say this right now though, it is silent. There is no noise from this heat press, and that never happens. Like, it's quiet. That's wild. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back off. We're gonna go test out the other press, my current press, see how long it takes to go. But yeah, so this was the final time, 4 minutes, 40 seconds, and 21 something. Millisecond, I don't even know. Whatever, we're not gonna count that. 0.21. But let's go turn on the other one. I will say the silence is beautiful. You'll see in a second what I mean. Okay, so as you guys can hear first, that is from the heat press. It makes that noise. And like for a while, I didn't really notice it for a while, but it does get kind of loud, especially when I've been filming. It's just like a kind of, sounds like an overheated computer, which is fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but the other one, nothing. I'm also shocked. I'll turn this guy off though. I'm also shocked at the time. It was only 3 seconds faster. And I'm kind of wondering, I'm like, would the other one be a little bit faster after it gets used to its life? I don't know, but I am shocked. I'm also looking though, and I'm like, there is this auto button, and now I'm wondering if this already had an auto button where you could continuously doing it and I just didn't know, which is a big possibility for me. But yeah, I mean, display-wise, this guy's tiny. Like, here, we'll do a little comparison really quick. So I think as far as the old version, the first press, the first auto press, I know a lot of people, when I was buying it, I was nervous because it was new. And I was just like, well, there's not a ton of reviews, and the reviews were upset about the pressure because there's no pressure control on this one. And for me personally, the projects I was doing didn't really have any trouble besides the one apparel item that eventually had trouble, and I think that's honestly has to do with this pad. I think over time it has gotten a little bit less firm, and like this was kind of like your pressure because it pushes down really hard on it. But so this is how this one looks. I have no complaints about that. And then like the display's small, but like I never really, I don't know, I haven't had issues with it. It's also very simple, like you could just do the things you could do. That's the start button, that was the temperature and the time change, decreasing, you know, increase, decrease, temperature, time. But these ones I never used, so I don't know, maybe I'm just silly. So compared to this new display, obviously it's a lot larger. We have pressure here. There we go. So that's pressure. It can't go below 50, but it looks like you can go pretty high with pressure to 170. I'm very curious what I should be doing for that. And then obviously time, you'll change. And then our pull is a lot different. It doesn't just have like a handle, you just pull from underneath. Just make sure you're not hitting the plate, and you pull all the way out to put your apparel item on here. Okay, so I'm honestly nervous to try out World Tour. It's just like been a design that I love so much, but has been such a pain to make lately. So we're going to attempt it with this new press. I think I'm gonna try a pressure of 75, or maybe I'll try 50 on the front and then kind of see how that looks. I'm tempted to go with 75 or 100 because the issue has been like there hasn't been enough pressure on how big of a design it is. It needs pressure all around, and I think there was bumps in the last one. That's my guess. So I'm gonna start with the t-shirt first, because if I ruin a t-shirt, that's less of a travesty than ruining a crew neck. But if we can make these on this press, I can restock them finally. Because honestly, market prep wise, it has been the most stressful thing to make, and it's one of my best sellers. And it's to the point where I started looking at outsourcing that, only that t-shirt, because I was just so frustrated. So without further ado, let's do it. Let's test it out. Let's see how we like it, and then we will decide how we feel about this little press. Okay, so World Tour we do on a Comfort Colors tee, a classic, and it is the pepper color, I think. And then all of my transfers at the moment I get from Super Colors, so I send in my design, and they do a screen print transfer. I think they also do DTF, but personally, oh, I need to grab the front of this. Well, this is the back design. This is what causes me the chaos. I don't know why. It's just always a problem. So I'm gonna grab the front design, and then we'll get this heat press going, pre-press, do the front, and then do the back, which is always what causes the problems. So we're gonna send vibes. We're gonna hope this solves the biggest drama of my shop. That would be great. As you probably saw, my design did pull in one spot. I'm able to fix it. Luckily, this sometimes happens with some of my letter designs where something doesn't go on right away, and then I go back through with a smaller press and have to make adjustments. Obviously, that's not what I want in this situation, but I'll show you guys. So you see the S fell off, and then I think another letter fell off. Let's see. R and S fell off. So I'm wondering if I need to do it. The pressure I think is good though, because it immediately, like, it feels so good. It finally like adhered, which has been the problem, and I think it was the pressure issue. I've also had issues with my transfers, which has been frustrating, but this one specifically was pressure related. And so knowing that I can make these now on here, we're gonna do one more just to make sure, for my own peace of mind, and hopefully have a better pull. I might do it up to 20 seconds, but I mean, it looks like it feels good. Oh, okay, this is a good sign, guys. This is like better than I've had in a very long time. I know there's still a couple letters that fell off, but it's okay. We can still fix this, and this is not a ruined t-shirt. We can fix this. I'm gonna grab another shirt. Let's try one more. we had a little bit of a similar issue, but I did the pressure higher. And the spot it pulled in, I think was my own fault because I kind of sometimes get a little too crazy with my pulling. And if you don't pull it at the right kind of angle, you know what I mean? It pulls. Thankfully though, no rippage, which is great. Which means I can fix both of these shirts very easily. If you guys have been watching for a while, you've seen how my old presses, and even like the clamshell when I had to do some on there, it would like not have enough pressure to the point where I would pull anything and it would rip the whole shirt. I thought the shirt was wrong. I thought everything was wrong, and it turned out to be pressure related. These transfers are not the best, so that's not helping me right now. Not the super colors is, but like the specific batch of transfers that I got. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just telling you the sitch. So you're like, what the? It's my transfers. However, she feels so good, which is so great. 'Cause that's another thing. It's like sometimes if your press isn't good, it doesn't adhere, and then you're like, it just doesn't, you know what I mean? If you make apparel, you know what I mean? There's like a texture. If it's not perfectly adhered, it feels like gross. So anyway, I am very happy with this. I know that the pull isn't perfect for me, and I think that's because of my own problems. And specifically this design, future ones with like this one, I do need to make it a tiny bit smaller because it does fit the plate. However, there's a lot going on. And then when you're pulling, it's hard to explain. If you're pulling a transfer that's that big, it needs to, one, obviously be perfectly adhered all over the place. If something wasn't, it's gonna pull a lot more than if you have a smaller design. Like the front design obviously doesn't have a lot of things going on. And I made it a little big, so when it fits on the plate, it should be more in the center. And that's me, that's my problem. But I'm gonna fix these shirts and now we can sell them. Because all I have to do is use my tiny heat press and fix the letter that got pulled. This has happened quite a few times, and that's kind of like my workaround. Obviously, if it has like a real noticeable problem, it goes in the discount bin, but when it happens like this, it's not noticeable, and you won't have issues when you wash it. You won't even know unless you're watching this and you're like, wait a minute, you won't know. I'm very good at it at this point. But I'm pretty excited about this press. I personally am gonna switch it with my other one out. I think this one is worth switching to. It's quiet. It heats the same amount of time, and I have pressure control, especially with my tote bags. Like I still have this on and I didn't even realize. That's crazy. Specifically with my tote bags too, I have a ton of issues with rippage and pulling because the pressure is just like non-existent on the other one. And so maybe I'll try out tote bags again. Tote bags have been another sensitive thing for me. They've just always have had problems, and I don't know, and I've tried different things. I also think it might be like the type of tote bag I use. It's all a learning process, and I think if you're going into apparel or anything with a heat press, just know you're gonna be having a lot of trial and error. You're gonna have things get ruined. Make sure to practice on things that aren't gonna cost you a lot. I have ruined many a sweatshirt, and that literally I just want to die when I do that. And you know, sometimes there isn't really a good reason. Maybe your transfers are like, something's wrong with the coating, and that's not on you. Like if you don't make the transfers, how do you know? There's just like a lot that goes into it, and that's kind of anything you learn. Specifically heat presses too, it's hard to figure out what kind you want. If you want like a more affordable one, I will say that when I tested the manual one, it was pretty great. For me personally though, I love the auto press, and the fact that they released one that fixes all the problems people had within a year, I think is really cool. I personally think that's great. I'm very excited that they sent this to me for free. Like, I'm very excited. So let's talk a little bit more about when this is coming out, would I recommend it officially? And yeah, let's talk. Okay, so from now until November 20th, it is on pre-sale, so it is not officially shipping yet. It is shipping very soon. It will be shipping before Christmas. So if you're like, hey, I want this on my wish list, you can. It can happen for you. There's gonna be quite a few sales on this guy to start with. It kind of did this last year too, because this is how I got mine. My other one, as I waited to see it on sale. It's on their website. I do have an affiliate link below, so if you want to shop through that, I would be so appreciative. They are doing some bonuses, I guess, if like we get enough views on things, as well as purchases. Obviously that would be cool, but you know, it's here or there. If that happened, that'd be great, but otherwise, no pressure, friends. I just was like, I feel excited to be included on this. I would say if I was comparing like 3 presses that I currently have, I guess 4 presses. Let's do a quick comparison because I feel like I now have many a heat press experience. My first one was a Better Sub clamshell. That was what everyone was using last summer, and I thought, it's pink, it's cute, I want it. I would not recommend. I sold it last week. It's a great first one, I guess. But personally, I had to wear a brace to do all of the clamshelling, and I would say if you're more of like a hobbyist that doesn't use it as often, great. I just personally needed it a lot more, and it hurt like a bad word. My second one was the auto press. I recommend. However, I would say maybe wait for the new one. But you know, the old one will be on sale as well, I assume, since it's gonna be not new anymore. And then the manual press is a great option too. It's an affordable option if you're like not sure if you want to invest into the auto press. I personally, when they sent me it, I was so excited. I was like, are you kidding? There's a new one and it's gonna have everything I need. I just really love the like versatility of it. I love how easy it is to use, and it's never given me problems. Like the first one's never given me problems. I only had the issues with the world tour, and that one was like, you know, that was frustrating. However, every other design I've ever pressed has been fine on that auto press. And then like the tote bag issue was just, again, like I think materials and things I was testing, because when I tried other things it worked well. Say I recommend it. It is a pricier press. I think it starts at $350, but they are doing a ton of sales. I'll be listing the sales below for you guys so you can see if you use my link too. That gets you a little something. I think pre-orders ship November 20th, so it will be here in time for Christmas. And I'm going to be using it now for all of my market and holiday prep, which is going to be a lot. So I'm really putting it to the test, and I'll talk about it in the vlogs going forward too, to like make sure I'm still happy with it. Since it is brand new, I'm like a little anxious because it's like unreleased. And I do feel like I wouldn't recommend it to you guys if I didn't think it was actually something that was worth doing. I noticed some people said they had issues with their manual press when they commented, and I didn't have those issues. And when I did try to Google it, I saw it was mostly like you needed to reset the breaker on the back. So if that's something you're watching right now and you're like, oh, this is an issue, that was what I found. Obviously reach out to HTVRont if you have issues. These are just my experiences. The only reason I agreed to work with them in the first place, because I get a lot of emails like this that kind of seem and the only collabs I've done so far ever, which you guys have all witnessed now, have been from brands I've trusted and used before, or brands that I've been wanting to work with and try out. HTVRont, I had purchased one with my own money a year before they reached out to me, and that's why I agreed to do some reviews. And I'm a fan. I think it's great. I'm a big fan of this new press. I'm very excited about it. It is going to hopefully change up the shop pretty well this year. I mean, I'm going to be using it for all of my holiday stuff, which is exciting. But yeah, I'm very excited. So make sure to please use my affiliate link if you would like. Make sure to ask any questions, or if there's things you want me to try out with this press, let me know. But yeah, very exciting. Thank you guys for watching this week's little product review of the new auto press 2. And thank you to HTVRont for, you know, sending me this. This is great. I love free things. I love to test out new things. But I would give it a definite recommendation. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all next time.